We've been driving the EcoSport in office for about a month now. I've had this car for a month and I've done about 3,000 kilometers on it. And this video review, of course, is a long-term report of the car and basically what kind of a car it is to live with on a day-to-day basis. Well, first things first, the car is called the EcoSport and not the EcoSport. The EcoBoost is the engine, and Ford, it seems, likes calling this the EcoSport. It's really also supported us on a lot of shoots. We've done a few shoots with it as the backup car. We've done a lot of tracking shots with it, and it's really kept up pace with some of the more expensive cars. We even had a Jaguar XF, and we were tracking that car doing 3-digit speeds, and this car managed to keep pace with that without any problems. Well, I've even done a trip to Chandigarh in this car, which is about 500 kilometers to and fro, and I have to say it feels very stable and very reassuring on the highway. The brakes are very good, and even when you're doing speeds of about 120, 130, there's very, very little noise entering the cabin, and you can actually zip around in this car quite well because it's got a very punchy mid-range, and that really does help overtake that slow-moving truck or bus when you are on the highway. And the best part, of course, is this really slick gearbox. It's got very short throws, very, very narrow gauge, and it's very, very, very refined and very positive. This, in fact, is a gearbox you'll just be shifting gears in for the heck of it, like I am doing right now. Well, this car, of course, comes with 3 engines. There's a 1.5 petrol with about 110 bhp of power. There's a 1-liter EcoBoost, which develops about 123 bhp, and then of course there's this car which I'm driving, the diesel, the 1.5 TDCi, which develops about 90 bhp of power and 204 Nm of torque. Well, the EcoSport is a mix of a lot of segments. It's got the practicality of a hatchback, the space of a mid-size sedan, and the road presence of a SUV, and that really means that its widespread of abilities and talents makes it one of the nicest cars in terms of personality. It's got a great personality. Well, another plus point about this car is the seats, even the front and the back row. The seats are very firm. They're not those soft kind of squishy seats where you just sink into them. And of course you get a nice high driving position. There's the high set seats which gives you a nice view of the road ahead. You can see 3 or 4 cars ahead of you, and that really does help you when you are stuck in traffic. Well, Ford claims an economy figure of 22.7. Onboard trip computer is actually showing 16.1 kmpl, so it's a little off what Ford claims, but I have to agree, this car 700-800 kilometers have primarily been stop-go traffic and bumper-to-bumper city traffic, and considering the weight of this car, which is over 1200 kilos, it's pretty decent in terms of fuel economy figures as well. Well, how is this car to drive in the city? Effortless is the word I'll use, because the steering is very light, and even though it doesn't have the same crispness that we've now come to expect from all Ford cars, remember, at the end of the day, this is a crossover. It's a compact SUV, and it's not supposed to handle like a hatchback or a sporty sedan. Well, I'm pretty okay with the handling because it's pretty neutral, and it's very sure-footed because it's got a nice wide set of tires. There's a lot of grip from those tires, and you feel very sure-footed. In terms of overall dynamics, the ride comfort is pretty good. Highway stability is really nice. Well, this of course is the top of the line titanium version, so you really do get all the bells and whistles in it. The steering comes with stereo mounted controls, also controls for your telephone, and you get automatic climate control. You get nice Bluetooth connectivity for the phone as well. Well, in terms of practicality, it's an easy cabin to live with. Well, some people do complain about the control panel over here for the stereo and other settings on the car, but I think it's very easy to use because it is made to look like a cell phone, and it's very clearly marked CD, radio, auxiliary, phone. It's very easy to use even when you are on the move, with this little screen over here telling you exactly what's happening, and you just have to glance at the controls once. Once you get used to it, of course, it's one of the most easiest and hassle-free entertainment systems to operate. Now that I've spoken about so many positives on the EcoSport, let us talk about some negatives as well. And the first one, of course, is that no, there's no real negative with the car. Of course, I could complain about the plastic coloring not being so great, and stuff like that, and maybe the all grey interior looks a little dreary and a little boring and stuff like that, but that'll really just be nitpicking. Well, Ford really has made a great car, and it's no surprise that they've actually managed to ship out over 1 lakh units of this car from their Chennai facility. It's a job well done, and really full marks to Ford for developing a car like this. It's perfect for Indian conditions. One of the best cars that I've lived with, and one of the few cars I'll be sorry to say bye to when it finally goes.